everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Papa Powell going on the microphone. Papa Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Mike. Let's go to the full cam. The mic wasn't even open. I went to the wrong screen. The mic wasn't working, and now it's working, and everything's good to go. So let's go to the right screen and start properly. Thankfully, my trading day went much better than how my streaming day is starting off so far. Yeah, trading day was green, a nice green day. Could have been way more profitable had I stuck to my system, stuck to my rules, especially when it comes to exiting. But did not do that, and struggled a little bit on really capitalizing and really seizing the day. But still a green day, nice little green day to start the week. Excited to see what opportunities come up for the rest of the week over here, and obviously that's the point of this stream over here. We're gonna go through my trades on the day, see how I traded, how I could potentially have traded better really quickly, a trade review, and then we'll go directly into looking for the stocks that I have prepared for on the watch list. If there's any name that you might want me to take a look at, feel free to throw it in the chat, and obviously I'll take a look at it and see if it's worthy to be a day trade tomorrow. So let's go to the full screen. Let's not waste any time and start talking about my trades on the day. So my day green, as I mentioned earlier. Let's start showing you the actual trades themselves. QMCO. If you watched the video from last night, I posted the video pretty late because I had to record it twice. I recorded it once, my computer crashed on me, and then I had to re-record the whole thing again, and then I recorded it late, I threw it up late, so I think not everyone was able to catch that, but if you were able to catch that, you saw me talking about QMCO for a short under 25. QMCO opens around 25 and flushes on pops. It's not able to get above 25. A little illiquid of a name, but still the concept and the idea with the rest of the quantum names. This one should start seeing some pullback along with the rest of the basket. So getting short, taking the breakout, then I got scared of the position because my breakout average wasn't really good, and you know, I'm having to risk all the way to VWAP, at which point I'll turn the stock to negative after being so far in the money, all just because of an average in where I averaged in like an idiot. I'm going to ruin the trade for me, so I don't want to do that. So I just started getting out into the lower day, getting ready to take the lower day break if it was as a completely different trade. Use this as trade one of itself, and then use this as the opening range breakdown as trade number two. Sadly, I did not size hard enough for that trade. I didn't want to take more size than I had off the open, so I sized too little on this, and then all of my exit on the 5-minute bar breakout. So had I had more shares, I would have, you know, scaled my exit out on QMCO, or so I would have liked to believe. QMCO actually makes a much bigger move, going down to $19.31, and imagine being short $25 to start the day. Short 25, short, I think this was around 23, yeah, $23 or $22.50, and then basically being able to hold it down to 20 or even all the way down to $19 would have been amazing, but nope, no bueno for me. Another one that's a big regret. I think part of the reason why I traded QMCO so scared is because I traded RGTI very scared. I feel like I caught the right side of the V for the short. Yes, I did catch the right side of the V, but I just started, you know, scaling into the position. Every single candle that showed me a little weakness around $8, I just started throwing in an order and taking shorts, more shorts, more shorts, more shorts, and then eventually I got a little scared. I felt like I was oversized because for the amount of size that I had and what I felt like I had to risk on this position, I did not want to risk that much. So I got out of a little bit, and then as the stock pushes down, I get out a lot more, and I just start trading PNL. I see the pre-market low or the opening drive low, so I recognize that area, and I just completely get out of my trade without using any exit rules at all. So exit rules out the window. Let's actually go check out, had I used exit rules properly, where was my exit on RGTI today? So I was short right around this $8 area that I have marked up, and had I used 5-minute bar trails, I don't get out until this candle for my first profit, and then another 5-minute bar trails right around here as the stock starts to bounce back. It never really gets above 21 EMA, so I should still be in the trade, and then the stock later on makes another low. Somewhere over here is where I would potentially be ending the trade and maybe thinking about getting back into the trade later on, but being able to capture all the way from $6.70 to $8 is what I should have been able to do, but instead I'm short 8 and I'm just blowing my load, just taking my profits in front of $7.50, $7 just because I feel like I'm too oversized. If that is the case, you know, maybe get out of the size that you feel like you're oversized for the profit, and then hold the rest of the size that you don't feel like is oversized, and you know, stick with your exit rules then later on. So very emotional trading over here right off the open, mainly because I'm not really too good of trading before 10 o'clock off my statistics. So I was worried that I'm going to start the week red. I was worried that I'm going to start the day red. This could be the quantum day bounce. I don't want to get stuck short on a quantum bounce day. So lots of things were going on in my head, and that made me trade QMCO and RGTI pretty scared. I got a nice little scalp short on STZ. This was also mentioned on the YouTube video last night that I posted, looking for the bounce into the earnings anchored VWAP. It actually goes into that area, gives you a double top in that area with the lower high. I'm able to get some size short, and then the 5-minute bar low trails get me taken out of the trade. Also, VWAP is holding for the rest of the day, so I don't want to turn this into a bigger trade. Had this popped back and then kind of showed me rejection again, I would have loved to reject to take in that short over there, but it was too late in the day for me to kind of be watching that. I think I was actually eating a firehouse sub at that point. Shout out to my manager for buying us all firehouse subs. It was buy one get one free, so I have another firehouse sub for lunch tomorrow that I'm gonna be able to eat. That's gonna be a little soggy, but you know, hopefully the microwave can fix that problem. Let's go to DJT, the title of today's YouTube, Twitch, Twitter streams. You'll be able to see, obviously, is about DJT being up 20 damn percent. It says 18% over here, but overall it's up around 20%. It was like just an insane move into $39. I was figuring maybe a capitulatory short opportunity coming in for me to get a quick little scalp to VWAP, and it kind of gives you that scalp to VWAP, but then you can see right around VWAP, right off the 21 EMA, probably on the 5-minute chart, the stock starts to bounce and immediately start run back up. So realizing that, I take my profits and I say no thank you, right? I don't want to be short anymore, and then I flip long, but sadly I don't give the long enough risk because this was also you know, one straight move to the upside, so this could have been a trap. So I monkey in with a very tight risk, I get stopped out, and sadly I'm not able to ride the move into $40 over here. The stock does give you a bunch of opportunity to get back long into 39 if you are watching for it. It gives you a dip buy over here. Later on in the day, it gives you a dip buy in this area too to look long, and then much later on in the day, it gives you a breakout long for you to capitalize also. So multiple trade opportunities being given on DJT today. The $40 area also gave you a little bit of a short scalp to VWAP if you were interested in that. But look, the trend is your friend. So if you want to be friends with the market, usually that's the way to make money. If you want to be friends with the market, the trend is your friend. Just follow the trend. Just look for dip buys, especially when DJT is doing this type of action over here, where it looks like, you know, it capitulated to the upside and it might now return back as a mean reversion short. But after it dips and rips back up the way it did, there's no more shorts on this trade. So just wait for dips and then get long on the dip, which would have been right here at VWAP, and sadly I was not able to capitalize on that. Had I had that, it would have been a pretty good, a little bit more decent day for myself over there, even with me making mistakes on RGTI and on QMCO. So QMCO, RGTI, had I traded those stocks properly, I would have been up way more on the day. And then had I properly traded DJT, you know, I was watching this area, but I hesitated. If you were looking for that trade on DJT here, that would have been a good opportunity to get long also. That's the first 4 stocks. The next 4 stocks, Coinbase, a flat trade. I actually get out exactly where I get in. I get short and then I get out on a pop and move right back down. As you can see, the stock doesn't really do too much at the end of the day. It just kind of chops around as Bitcoin goes back and forth around 90k, and then later on in the day Bitcoin pops up. So a nothing burger move, I guess. I got in, I realized I'm making a mistake, I got out, and I'm glad that I was able to get out for a flat trade instead of having to take a loss on this position. I was willing to take a loss on this position had it started holding above VWAP, but it wasn't doing that. At the same time, it wasn't really moving below my my short entry price to the downside drastically for me to take advantage of. So I just figured I'll take the flat exit, and I think that was the right thing to do. mRNA, obviously you guys have probably heard the news catalyst. I think they're getting a downgrade by about $1 billion for their upcoming earnings report. They're already you know, giving the investors a little bit of a heads up. So Moderna popping back to VWAP over here after the initial flush to the downside showed me, you know, possible short opportunity, but that should have been me taking all of my size short there and not really adding to the trade, because then when it really pops back up over here, I would have been able to take you know, profits. But because of the way I took the short and I added, these were both even size. This one is less EV. This is not a higher EV entry. This is a high EV entry, right? So this should be the most size that I should be putting on onto the trade, and then maybe a little bit size being put onto the trade. But because I put equal size on both of those trade entries, one with the lower EV, when the stock actually pulls back and I recognize that, hey, there's no more downside, we're making a higher low and actually starting to pop back up, I just get out for a flat exit at my break even point, and I say thank you for the trade, I don't want to be short anymore. And I think that was the right idea. Later on in the day, I try a quick little flip long, but I don't give it enough risk. Also, not any real size on that trade, so I take a little bit of a hit on that position. I think if you actually watch this trade much later on in the day, it ends up going into 35, 36. So the idea was right, but I was too early for the trade. I could have also gotten in on the dips above VWAP, the hold and dips above VWAP, instead of taking the breakout entry, or take the breakout entry, but you know, watch to see how the stock reacts around VWAP for you to potentially add back on the position and then see if it gives you a rally back higher. But I don't really like the breakout on that trade. WBA, it tries to hold the earnings anchored VWAP and the 1130 area. It fails, and then later on it actually manages to hold the 11. I wanted to talk about the 11 in the YouTube video that I posted. I also wanted to put the 11 in my notes, but I said, you know, ideally I don't want to see the stock below 1130, but looks like, you know, sometimes your gut feeling is right, and 11 was the area to be waiting for WBA. I think tomorrow, if the market has a little bit of a rebound day, a market has the bounce day, which we'll talk about more in depth as we get to the watch list part of the stream. If the market has a bounce day, a rebound day, that could potentially set up WBA for that episodic pivot past $12. That's like the 200-day moving average. That's the gap down on the daily chart high. So multiple reasons to watch WBA tomorrow for sure, especially if the $12 area starts to show some sort of a breakout opportunity. USO lost on both the trades, but also didn't really have any size on both the trades. Attempted a high day breakout on the United States oil. It looked like a bull flag, so was just looking for a bull flag breakout. It never really played out like that. Last but not least, IonQ. Tried IonQ at the $28 area. Just a straight one-shot move from VWAP into $28. You know, I thought it had a chance to hold 28. It actually bounces, triggers a little bit higher, and then it starts to get back under 28. I'm ready to start to punch out of this position, but 28 actually has, or sorry, not 28, just below 28, 27.73 if I remember correctly, or 77, 23.77, had 27.77 or 27.73. I can't remember now. I'm second guessing myself. Anyways, they had some size sitting on the 27.77 area, so I used that as my risk. I added a little bit more size to my entry, and I used that as my risk level. Once that size broke, I got out of the trade and I wasn't watching it again. Looks like 27 was defended and they popped it right back up. So question is, did the... Am I not live right now? Hello? There you go, I am. Did the quantum sector bottom out? That's the question that we are going to be having to answer tonight and tomorrow pre-market and all day tomorrow for trading opportunities. Obviously, that's going to be the big name on the watch list. That's going to be all of our watch list for the most part. Let me bring in the watch list really quick. Boom. Oh, I can't scroll down over here. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to bring the watch list. Oop. Gonna have to bring the watch list out for you guys this way. So QQQ, SPY, IWM, Tesla, Nvidia, all the fun stuff obviously, but along with that we have the AI basket, the quantum basket, some biotech stocks that I found on Yahoo scanners. We'll see if these three are interesting. They look interesting on the daily chart, but if they have an interesting news catalyst, or are they just kind of small cap shitters that are popping up. PHIO is actually a fun one to keep an eye on. DJT obviously moving to the upside today. Is that not on my watch list? It is. DJT, and a bunch of other stocks over here that bleed from yesterday's watch list. So very interested to see what opportunity set up for tomorrow. Let's start with the top of the watch list for us with the market. So let's talk about the market really quick. The market obviously had a weak day to start off with, right? They were down what, 1% to start the day for the QQQ and the S&P 500, but a pretty good fight back, climb back into the double bottom. Well, not really a double bottom, but this area that I'm keeping an eye on as interest from that 508. You could maybe even, you know, decrease that area right there to keep an eye on. That's kind of where today's high also comes into play. So you got this zone over here that you want to potentially keep an eye out for on let me just delete that because I don't need that line tomorrow. I'll have that line. So you have this zone from 504 to about 506 to see how QQQ reacts tomorrow. If we start actually holding above 506, there's just no shorts for me on a broader picture, on a bigger picture scale. So I'm not going to be hunting for shorts across the board. Maybe even that's going to cause the quantum sector to actually bottom, especially if you take a look at some of these stocks. Palantir, I would say Palantir is pretty damn extended to the downside. That's 25% down from all-time high on Palantir. Obviously, it's a heavy PE name. More shorts are obviously the right direction for the bigger picture, but for the intraday picture, the smaller time frame, if the market bounces, I could see some of these names such as Amazon, for example. Amazon right back to its previous all-time high of 215, where it broke out of and stayed pretty strong above 215, and just now right back going into 215 and making a double bottom around that area. So if the market bounces, a lot of these stocks have a potential rally opportunity. Tesla today being up 2%, showing you know, strength in the market. When the market was going down, Tesla wasn't really budging at all. The market opened up red, Tesla started going higher and higher and higher and higher, and then gave you a VWAP continuation, and then going into the close just ripped to the north side. So once the market goes higher, you want to look for these stocks that are actually going higher. So have a watch list. Like, notice how I have it's called a crack list, but have a watch list always prepared for yourself. And then at a glance, you'll see, oh, look at that, robotics sector is getting sold off, along with the quantum sector, along with the AI sector, along with the drone sector, and these were the hot sectors of the 2024. Are the themes of 2024 going to be the themes of 2025? Quantum clearly is not going to be the theme of 2025. So now we're going to have a battle between what themes are going to emerge, what themes are going to you know, die down. Maybe the next theme is going to be tariffs. Every day as inflation data keeps coming out worse and worse, you have Trump talking about, you know, tariffing this, tariffing that, so he could fight inflation and bring in more money for the great United States of America. So all things obviously will be answered in the next few years once he takes seat in January 20th. Which is very, very soon. So once he takes his presidency, once he gets inaugurated, you know, we'll see what type of tariffs and what type of market opportunities they'll give us. Probably Chinese tariff trades, Canadian tariff trades, Mexican tariff trades. We don't know. So we're just waiting and seeing when the big man gets into his power and what type of plays he gives us. But for now, we have some themes to keep an eye on, and we're gonna keep a watch to see how they play out. SPY actually turning green on the day. Shout out to the S&P 500. They were also down quite a bit and then turning green on the day. So if this is a temporary bottom, a false breakout on the market, and the market starts to kind of relax before inauguration and then start rallying going into inauguration, usually according to statistics, that's apparently what happens. So if that's the case, then this could be a false breakout, trapping the shorts and then pulling it back up, and we'll see if it's time to start to go shop on the market, right? A lot of stocks are actually apparently below their 50-day moving average. I follow a lot of people, and I have a lot of people turned on notifications. For example, I have Donald Trump notifications turned on. Well, what is this? Well, Mr. President, for the second time. Well, we're gonna have to watch this. A minute 40. We'll have to watch this later. Trump team studies gradual tariff hikes under emergency powers. Okay, look at that right there. Immediate tariff talks as soon as we get to there. Negotiation tactics, one of the catalysts for lower dollar. So that's a trade on the dollar over there. Shout out to GEO. Yeah, this is a trade that I had on my watch list and was mentioned as a swing trade. So GEO breaking out along with DJT, potentially giving us a day trade tomorrow if some buying comes in on the dips. But it's a little illiquid. $30 name with 2 million shares traded on average. So, you know, a little illiquid, but nice clean daily chart, right? Nice clean daily chart. Another Trump name over here other than DJT for anyone interested. But yeah, follow good people on Twitter, and you're gonna learn a lot. So I'm trying to find Stephen Place's tweet. It's gonna probably take. I should have had the tweet ready for you guys. But the tweet is basically, or maybe was it Short Bear's tweet? I can't remember. I think it was Short Bear's tweet actually regarding. No, it was Stephen Place's tweet regarding how it's time to go shop because a lot of stocks in the S&P 500 are actually below their 50-day moving average. So it's time to go shopping. And if that's the case, and if the market just had a temporary bottom and a nice opportunity to bounce right back up into FOMC anchored VWAP, and then this one I believe is the election day, the Trump election day anchored VWAP. Let's see if we can find some rejections on pops into those areas. But first, we would need to pop into those areas. So let's see if the bounce come into the market. IWM bouncing off the 200-day moving average, right around the 200-day moving average, and also ending green. So shout out to IWM. All of this is making me think there could just be a relief rally coming in for these stocks. Now, obviously, Palantir, I said, was a little overextended to the downside, and that was only down 20%. But RGTI down 72% from all-time highs. So this is very, very interesting. You have not only RGTI, you have you know, IonQ, which is one of the stronger names of the basket. So if IonQ wants to start bouncing, it could potentially go right back into $35, $33. Actually, 33 is the VWAP that I have over there for the move start. So I'm expecting a bounce into 33. 33 also happened to be today's high, so potentially a resistance around that area. But expecting some sort of a capitulatory long bounce coming into these names. Maybe that comes in when the stock goes into the 200-day moving average. So I'm not saying you know, there's no more downside. There could be more downside, but you know, shorting these names after how far they've come and how quick they've come from where they just were is going to be a pretty hard thing to do if we're looking for a breakdown. If you are interested to short the pops, that's a whole different situation. Much later on in the day, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, the stock pops into VWAP, or even 1 o'clock, stock pops into VWAP, rejects VWAP. That's a trade to keep an eye out for continuation. But if you're interested for something off the open, you're not looking for a breakdown on these names. So most of these names are pretty far to the downside, watching to see how they react, especially the ones that are almost at their 200-day moving average, like ARQQ. The ones that are at their 200-day moving average are way more interesting to me. LAES is another one to keep an eye on, and the ones that, you know, potentially will open flush into the 200-day moving average and then just capitulate right off the open, giving you a big long opportunity. So watching these names like a hawk tomorrow, not only the quantum names but also the drone names, some of the baskets in the drone basket to keep an eye out for. These ones got smoked to the downside also. RGTI, JOBY. So watch out for these ones. JOBY actually going into a good support area, I would say, after getting smoked to the downside. So any hold on the whole basket, if the basket is getting somewhat bought up, and you're seeing Red Cat, RCat, and UMAC going up higher. ACHR is also a good one to keep an eye on. So, you know, couple drone names over here. See if they're showing some strength tomorrow, especially if the market's showing strength, there could give you a good long. But obviously volume's dying down on these names at the moment, so not as high priority compared to the quantum basket. The quantum basket is much higher priority because a lot of people might be stuck long. People are still smoking that copium. If you go on Wall Street Bets, if you go on Reddit, every single kid with a $5,000 account is a quantum computer genius. But whereas Jensen Huang and Mark Zuckerberg both say quantum computing, we don't even know what it is yet. You know, it's just the buzzword at the moment. It's not a real thing. Yes, IBM and Google have a little thing going on in their little you know, private rooms and so on, but for the most part it's a buzzword. But every single one of these kids on the internet is just a genius at the moment, and they know everything about quantum computing. I saw a tweet saying that, you know, this kid was saying Nvidia and Meta are collaborating to sell off these quantum stocks, or at least manufacturing the sell-off in the quantum stocks by talking ill about it. That way, they can continue to keep bringing in money for the AI side of the world, which is what Nvidia is really excelling on, right? Keep on bringing in money to the AI side of the world, which is what Meta is spending a lot of money on also, right? Meta just went from pivoting from VR to AI, and that saved them a lot of market cap. And then if they had to pivot from AI into what was it, AI into quantum, that would have been a big problem for them again, right? So this kid on the internet thinks you know, this is a manufactured move on the quantum basket, that they're going to bring the basket down so they can keep the money flowing into AI, and then be able to buy the quantum stocks at a lower price themselves, and then gain the quantum technology that all these companies have. So it was hilarious a little bit to see the conversations that I'm reading on Wall Street Bets and Reddit and so on. Crazy. Andrew Chow, Pratt, I still remember the buzzword was metaverse, and we were talking about metaverse ETFs. I mean, look, I still believe in the metaverse. I'll be real with you. I still believe in the metaverse, but it's not in the, you know, I always questioned it. I always questioned it in the sense that, you know, no one company is going to own it. It's just going to be as a server. Every server is going to be public, open. At the end of the day, if you see what Ready Player One was, I could see that happening very much. You know, people plugging into a playing world where you just plug into the metaverse and you can go to this game or that game or this game or this world or that world, or you can do this fun stuff over here or that fun stuff over there. So I don't know. I still think it's something that is you know, years out, but something that is very much possible. That is very much possible. Anyways, not the topic on hand. So Joby, other drone stocks also on watch, but low priority. Quantum computing takes the high priority cake for the rest of the week, for the most part. Rest of the week, right? We're gonna have a lot of fun with these names. Nvidia, I'm expecting, had a nice bounce to 140 or higher. Let's see where Nvidia closed. It did not even close. So 133. Why did I say 140? Am I tripping? I think I am. So 133.50 was the high today. 130, 129.50 was the low today. Still down 1.7%. I guess you could see how the previous year, not the pure year low, because the previous year low is much lower, but December 31st low area is actually turning out to be a little bit of a resistance. And if the market breaks back up to the north side tomorrow, I think Nvidia is a pretty good candidate to keep a watch on. Tesla is a pretty good candidate to keep a watch on. You can see how now we have 3 days high as the same high on Tesla. So let's see if Tesla can kind of break out of that 403, 405 area and rip back up to the north side. Amazon, I talked about Amazon because Amazon's at 216, 215 area, which I think could show some buying power, especially if the market bounces. And if the market doesn't bounce, Amazon obviously is a pretty good candidate to take the 3-bar breakdown short as we get back below today's low and also Friday's low. Palantir, I think it's a little overextended. You can see how the bars and volume are getting lower and lower in terms of width and the volume in terms of amount of volume being traded. So not actually too much movement coming into play at the moment on Palantir. You can see how you're getting a lot of boxy action off the open until later on in the day where it might decide a little bit of a trajectory. So in my opinion, you know, until the market bounces, I might not even look at Palantir for a trade. If the market bounces and I don't catch Palantir as a trade, then I might watch for Palantir as a short once it gets a lot higher on the day, potentially into $70 or a little bit above $70. Then I'll look for a short, or I'll wait for a VWAP continuation, wait for Palantir to show me a dip buy. All of this depends on Palantir actually having a green day, the market having a good green day tomorrow and bottoming out. Here are some other names that are pushing into their 200-day moving average into the and they're in the basket of names that I think where money will flow back in again. The main reason is if you saw the Nvidia Jensen Huang the what do you call it, presentation conference event, where they were talking about their GPUs and the AI roadmap, the money that they're going to, or at least the roadmap that's being shown is basically a clear roadmap of where you should be looking to, where money should be parked, right? At the end of that roadmap is basically robots. At the end of that roadmap is robots, and that's why you see me having a robotic watch list already prepared and ready for when that thing starts to pop off. So you gotta be on top of your game. AI, I think money will start flowing back into the sector. I'm not saying the stock itself, but the sector will for sure see some love, and we'll see if this one will bounce off that $30 area, which it kind of did today, 30 or even the 200-day moving average into $29. So $29 to $30 area, I'm gonna be watching AI for a good long opportunity. I have been just talking and not typing in my notes at all, so tonight my homework is going to be extra long. I'm gonna have to go through all of these stocks again and type my watch list out in notes again. Awesome. SLUN, Soundhound, big move into a support zone. I would say the $12.70, exactly to the penny. You can see how this day's low, $12.70, this day's low, $12.70 to the penny. So I think if the stock reclaims the $13 area or the $12.70 area and stays above $12.70, stays above $12.50, I think Soundhound is something to keep an eye on. Again, this is an AI name, not a quantum name, but absolutely got slammed to the downside, sadly, with the rest of the quantum basket. Why did I go to ARQQ? I guess, okay, ARQQ is actually at the 200-day moving average, so I'm pretty interested to see how the stock reacts to this area. That 2-day low right there is around, what is that? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I want here is around $14.50, so $16 and then $14.50 also on watch on ARQQ for possible dip longs. The 28 did hold today. 28 held yesterday. 26 held a couple days ago on Friday. Today 27 held. So basically you have a $3 range on IonQ. You can just say 26 to 27. As long as buying comes in above 26 to 27, you can kind of look long on this name. But if the unwinding is still to happen on this basket, notice how the stock is still quite a bit of a way away from its 200-day moving average. But keep in mind, IonQ is possibly the only winner so far out of all the quantum names. The only winner so far out of all the quantum names. I was saying Prad like 4 months ago, ACHR and Joby, remember what happened, brother? Oh well, I changed my name, so you probably don't remember me. Not sure who you are, but yeah, I mean, look, I don't care about what happened 3 4 months ago. All I care is about how can I day trade on them. These are not about this is not about me talking about investing. So maybe you did call them out 3 4 months ago, but hey, I just care about how can I day trade them, because that's what I am. I'm a day trader. Whatever happened to stonks, boys? I'm not sure who you're talking about, but not too many people that I actually remember from the stonks streams. Maybe, yeah, I can't remember. Alpha Exchange, I kind of hang out with them a little bit on their Discord. But besides that, not really. Free advice guy, maybe? Free advice guy. Victor. Victor investing. I'm not sure where he is. Not sure where he is. I think he did message me recently on the new year. But after that, I'm not sure what happened to Victor. Okay. Ion Q, possible, I might be very patient with Ion Q. In terms of like capitulatory longs, Ion Q is not the candidate, okay? You got RGTI, you got ARQQ, you got big other names to look for a capitulatory long instead. So watch them to see how they react. RGTI, obviously you got this low around $6. You can see how 580, 595 is today's low. So 580 to 5, I'll just say $6. We'll see if RGTI can reclaim the $6 area tomorrow. If it does not, then there might be another big flush, especially if the flush happens right off the open into this 200-day moving average of $3.50 or even $4 area, and then gives you a long off of $4 with big size on $4. I am very, very, very interested to smash that trade. Size up on it, put real risk on that trade, maybe even risk like a good percentage of my day on that trade, and see if I can catch the capitulation long if it goes much lower. The lower it goes and the faster it goes, the more I want to be looking for that long. QUBT, so pretty close again to its 200-day moving average, and also pushing into the support zone over here of 580. So all of these stocks are the same situation. So pick your poison. For me, it's going to be the ones with more volume and the ones that are closer to their 200-day moving average, and the ones that are also the most extended away from their recent pop highs. So just do your scans, do your homework, and you'll be able to find those trades, obviously, for yourselves. So yeah, that's all we got. We got what, the drone stocks that I kind of looked at a little bit: RCAD, Joby, ACHR. Keeping an eye on how these ones react for possible holds. I think as the quantum stock keeps on getting smoked, these ones will show you a possible buying opportunity eventually. I'm not sure where. You just got to be slow and patient on them. DJT with the big pop going into the inauguration. Shout out to DJT. Let's go, DJT. So nice move on this bad boy. I mean, there was so many trades today on this one. Boy, oh boy, you just had to be patient, calm, cool, collected, and you would have slammed these trades today. So tomorrow, obviously, and high important, possibly going into the whole rest of the week, as we have June 20th, also the day off. Luckily, market is off on that day. So no opportunities to make money on that stock that day, sadly. But to keep an eye on how the market or how the stock moves for the rest of the week going into the inauguration day, because there could be lots of opportunities on DJT. So eyes glued to DJT. BBIO, another one over here. Big pop. Not sure what the catalyst is. Announces commercial progress, program update, and 2025 milestones. Okay. I guess, a small cap shitter name that popped up. Wow, okay. 147 million, 6 billion market cap. So not a shitter name at all. I mean, it has a decent float and somewhat of a real company actually. So maybe it could be worth keeping a track on the stock for tomorrow. Throw in the anchored VWAP from today's move and then see if the stock actually shows buying on dips. I mean, like the volume's giving you a pretty good R-ball spike too, so pretty decent R-ball spike. If the stock shows you support on dips tomorrow, I might be interested to look for a long, especially off the open. Pew, dip and hold and then rip to the north side. Very, very interested. BBIO. Let's go to the next one. OPCH. We got to go to here. OPCH. What's your float and what's your market cap? 4 billion market cap, 160. Okay, these are not bad companies, I guess. You know, another big move. What's the reason for you to do this today? Nearly 15% on pace for largest person increase since, okay, data talk. I don't care about that. Options care held surges after preliminary Q4 results. Full year 2025 view tops expectations, so guiding higher on their report, taking the stock higher, giving it a nice little R-ball bump too. The daily chart is a little ugly if you ask me compared to BBIO. The stock did, however, pull back above its 200-day moving average with that news catalyst. Also broke out of this $24 area. Could give you a trade on the dip and holds if 200-day moving average, which is around 27 right now. If it stays above 27, also the VWAP from today is around 27. So if it stays above 27 on dips, possibly interested to look long on OPCH. And last but not least, actually that's a lie, there's one more after this. ALHC, another mover, volume 4 million, $13 stock. ALHC, 92 million, 3 billion market cap. So lower and lower market cap. I think I'm gonna stick to the first two that I just talked about and then just go to the last name that over here that I want to talk about in this kind of basket of stocks is PHIO. Very good catalyst coming from PHIO, going from $1 into $10 today. So big move. I should have just taken the breakout from the pre-market high. Ideally, when a small cap name like this is on my radar, I want to short it, right? I want to short it because that is the setup that I make the most money on when I'm taking trades on small cap. But when the catalyst is so good, I said, no, I don't even want to locate the shorts on this name. The shorts might be stupid. And if that's the case, go long, right? Simple as that. Stock breaks out of the pre-market high, pulls back into the pre-market high, holds, and then just does not stop for the rest of the day all the way into a double top of $10. So monster move, PHIO, the catalyst obviously being the 100% remission and tumor patients that they've been testing for cancer. So big catalyst over there on PHIO. So on something like that, episodic, you know, big fundamental change, you want to be not looking short at all. So right now, going into tomorrow, if the stock can show me continued support above where the VWAP is at the moment, you can see how it's holding above VWAP. I'm very interested to see how this one sets up for a long. Now the last few lists of stocks over here as we quickly go through them. WBA, already mentioned this, having a nice little inside day today, potentially giving you a breakout tomorrow above that $12 area. So very high important name, WBA, especially if volume comes into that breakout. DAL did not hold 65 and actually got a little bit lower than 65, but managed to close above 65. I'm guessing because the market weakness, DAL actually kind of got crushed a little bit. So if DAL is able to, or if the market has some buying power, if DAL has some buying power behind it, potentially goes back above that 67.50 and then making a move into $70 or so. But the priority on DAL right now is very boring to me. I'm not really too interested in that. And UAL did exactly as planned. It gave you multiple shorts from that 105 area, right? So DAL broke down, so UAL 105 short. I talked about this on that Sunday video that I posted. So awesome short on that bad boy. STZ continue to potentially look short on this name. Earnings report obviously was pretty negative. Watching to see if today's high 190 to 200 area comes into play. The volume's gonna be dying down on the stock very quickly. Day 3 name potential, day 3 play potentially could be worthy of a trade to keep an eye on, but there's way more trades, way better names in my opinion that are worthy to keep an eye on tomorrow. So STZ is just kind of in the background, maybe something for later on in the day to find a trade. But right now, as a high priority name, it just does not make the cut. BTC actually makes a good rally back above 90k, all the way back to 95k. So you know, what the is that, a Michael Saylor candle? What the hell is that candle? So big candle right back up to 95k. Michael Saylor candle on BTC over there. So Coinbase obviously moving back up, MSTR moving back up, and giving you some long opportunities. As long as Bitcoin moves, you're continuing to watch these stocks for trade opportunities. Last few names, BDMD. BDMD, I did not set an alert, and I am regretting it. So regretting it quite a bit, but the volume is very low for a $10 stock. So 3 million shares traded for the whole day. I mean, look how trappy it was. I mean, it traded 5,000 shares for that 5-minute candle. I'm not sure if you're day trading this name. So the volume and liquidity was very low for the type of reaction that the stock is having. So might be just worthy to have it on watch, but you know, just something in the background. And SPCB, waiting for that breakout. This is something that I don't want to kick rocks if I miss it. So for sure going to set an alert right now at that 1050 area. Once it does come into play, I'll be alerted. And that is basically the watch list for tomorrow. I want to quickly show you the econ calendar. Nothing really today for the econ calendar, but tomorrow we got month over month PPI numbers. Wednesday we got core inflation numbers month over month, and I think jobless numbers also on Thursday coming out, along with retail sales. So bunch of core data coming out very soon for the inflation battle. And obviously, as I just mentioned, when it comes to inflation conversations, you got Trump and tariff conversations tied right along with them. So inflation conversations tied very closely with Trump tariff conversations that could also affect the market. So that is basically all things that I want to be interested in for tomorrow. If you feel like I missed something or something that I should put on my watch list, on my radar, let it be known now. Looking for IPOs, Flowco Holdings, January 16th. We are on the 14th tomorrow, so potentially talking about this on Wednesday. So talking about this on Wednesday, doing more research on Flowco Holdings IPO expected to. Let me actually take the screenshot right now, so that way I'm able to see the price grow or drop as it changes. The price grow or drop as it changes. Because that's an indicator in itself for me. That's an indicator in itself. So right now, $21 to $23 with about 18 million shares being offered to the market and a $470 million offer amount. Now there is another big one here, but that's just an acquisition account, acquisition stock. So that's just going to be a SPAC, reverse SPAC merger. Expect a lot of these to come into play as Trump gets into power. So that's going to happen a lot more again. They were very much a strategy when Trump was in power last time. They're going to be potentially a strategy again. This, ladies and gentlemen, is basically all she wrote for tonight. I quickly want to go check what the FOMC date is. When is the next FOMC date? 29th of January, so right before the end of the month, 29th of January, and the expected interest rate policies are at the 97% that the policies are going to be held. This is going to be exactly 9 days after Trump is in power. 9 days after Trump is in power, we're going to have an FOMC, and we'll see if Jerome Powell will be the one doing the FOMC, or does Trump actually fire him and you know, have some crazy thoughts behind that happening. All things, you know, obviously fun and satire. When I say that, I'm not sure if it actually go that route. He might not even have the power to do it. But anyways, all things satire and fun. It's time for me to do a bunch of other stuff, such as potentially go shovel the snow. It's been snowing all day here in fucking cold Canada. Been freezing my nuts off, so I'm gonna have to go shovel the snow a little bit. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of write-ups. I have a bunch of stocks to write up. I have to do my daily report card, so I'm potentially going to be up till 12 o'clock tonight and not get enough sleep. So I'm gonna bounce right now and quickly go get my work done, because I don't want to waste any time. I will see you lads tomorrow, obviously at 8 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. Let me quickly roll in the outro and fast forward the outro, and also bump up the volume because it's time to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. And yes, LA is burning down. Everyone, please pray for LA. I would do a fundraiser so I could potentially give money to LA, but I don't have enough viewers that I think will even you know, I'm not calling you guys greedy or anything. I just don't think I have enough viewers to get enough of a donation base to even donate. So I haven't been doing anything like that, but let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in, and we could do something. I will see in your daily card that I didn't sleep well. Dieter, you know what, if you don't want to see my daily card, you don't have to. Okay, Dieter, you don't have to. No, I'm joking. Yes, you will see on my card that I didn't sleep well. Yes. But anyways, guys, time to go. I gotta head out. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Peace. For tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host, TraderPrad. I'm doing... Oh, I closed the song. Oh shit, hold up. Brad, I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow, as you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.